Good evening, everyone. Welcome to week 9 of more consistent content creation. I'm almost at week 10. After the week 10 mark, I do plan to step it up a notch, so stay tuned. Today, what I wanted to speak about, though, is something I call the storm before the calm. So we've all heard about the calm before the storm. When, we're sailing on the ocean of life and it's completely tranquil, the waters are still, there's a light breeze, the horizon just seems to be, endless, and life is great. And then all of a sudden, the winds start to pick up, the waters get a little bit more shaky and rough, and the next thing you know, there's this gigantic tidal wave rising up above you that comes crashing down, throws you overboard, and there you are flailing for dear life in the middle of the deep dark ocean. So the storm before the calm, those moments in our lives where all of a sudden the level just jumps from easy to difficult / expert. How do we navigate those periods that seem to creep up on us every so often? Totally natural, though, totally a natural part of the cycle of our lives, the roller coaster of our lives, which hopefully we can then sort of compact a little bit so it's not so much a roller coaster, but just sort of like a gentle ebb and flow. That's the goal. But when we do find ourselves in the storm before the calm period, how do we deal with those feelings of self-doubt, of fear and worry and uncertainty and self-sabotage, right? When I first started this journey for more consistent content creation, the first 4 weeks went so well. I was excited, I was motivated, I was in awe of this great balance I'd found with, working part-time and having time to myself to be able to create and to do my own things. And all of a sudden, after week 4, it kind of just, boom, I started to panic. What am I doing? Is this right? Am I doing the right thing? Am I making enough money? What if I've chosen the wrong path? What path am I even on? I started to really freak out. And it lasted about a week. And during that week, what I had to tell myself, so a few things, right, in order to navigate this storm. First thing is that the storm is a natural part of this delicate balance we call life, right? It's the yin and the yang. It's what goes up must come down. We cannot have those, productive, joyous, happy, light-hearted periods without the really dark and heavy ones. So first things first is that we have to recognize that the downs are just as much a part of the ups. We cannot have one without the other. It's a duality. They coexist. Second thing that I had to tell myself and remind myself was that this was just a temporary period. Like everything in life, things are constantly changing, constantly in motion. It's what we call impermanence. Life is impermanent. Things are constantly moving and flowing. And so this rough patch was just a part of that constant movement. So although in the moment I was having, yes, a very difficult time, I had to remind myself that it was only temporary and that I would get through it. Okay? And then thirdly, of course, what helps tremendously during these periods is having a bank of tools and resources that you can turn to in these challenging times. So whether that's, people in your network, friends, family, colleagues, neighbors, who you can turn to and ask for some extra help, some extra support, maybe just to talk to, or to, have somebody watch over your kids, or, run an errand for you. Turning to those people in your lives that you've got around you for extra support. Or whether it's having an activity or a practice that you engage in order to take that crap storm of thoughts going on in your head and, forgetting about them for a little while as you engage in an enjoyable activity, whether it's cooking, whether it's reading, whether it's going for a walk, yoga, qigong, going for a massage, getting a Reiki session, playing video games, I don't know. Something that's going to allow you to disconnect from your mind just a little bit. And I don't know, what else can we be talking about? Just, being kind and gentle to ourselves. Getting that extra rest. Giving ourselves that extra love and attention that we may not normally. When we're feeling motivated and productive and good about ourselves. When we're in those down periods, it's really important to just take extra care of ourselves. So that's basically how I got over it. It lasted about a week. The following Monday, lo and behold, I was kind of back to feeling chipper and enthusiastic again about my plans to keep creating content and to keep my 3-day work schedule, because I know that in the long run, this is going to help me move towards my goals. So the storm before the calm. It's an inevitable part of life. It is impermanent. It will pass. And while we are in the crap storm, also very important to access the tools and resources that you've hopefully built over time. And if you haven't, would be a great time to start looking into, who are those people, what are those activities, what are those resources and things that you can sort of pull from your toolbox when you need them the most. So if you're currently experiencing a storm before the calm, do know that it'll pass, that you can get through this. And if you don't feel like you can, send me a message and I'm happy to lend a shoulder and to listen. So thanks again for tuning in this week. We will see you next week.